morning and welcome to today's news briefing on Wednesday, 2nd of November. I'm your host, Emmanuel Onyango.
And I'm your host, Regina Mwangi. Welcome to the show.
And the first news you're going to talk about is the Mama Lucy Horror Hospital. The Health State Committee has said that it will launch an investigation into Mama Lucy Hospital regarding to the alleged cases of medical negligence at the hospital. Some of the committee members have proposed the shutting down of the hospital to put an end to the numerous reported cases until clear structures are in place to handle cases at the hospital. The situation comes when probe on twins' mother who died of neglect at the hospital. The situation comes when, the Senate also summons Nairobi County for not paying attention to the matter. Not only does the committee focus on Mama Lucy, but also it has put eyes on health sectors across the country, with hospitals now tasked with providing the best care possible.
Mwangasa's darkness continues. Mary County Assembly rejects 7 out of 10 cabinet nominees. She's currently facing a hard time as she is in a feud with the Meru MCAs. On Thursday, she called for a consolidative meeting for all the elected nominated leaders, possibly ending the feud between her and her MCAs. The MCAs argue that nominees lacked role knowledge in running the county government. This becomes a blow to the governor, currently embroiled in a feud with the MCAs.
2 billion Kenya shillings for drought. The government has been able to inject 2 billion Kenya shillings to combat the farming and drought ravaging the country. President William Ruto has said that the funds will be used to mop up foodstuffs to be distributed in hunger-stricken areas to help in the ongoing suffering of the people. KEPSA and CAM pledged 340 million Kenya shillings for food purchase. Jamia Mosque Committee has also donated 4 million Kenya shillings. Some parts of the country are left in dire as they are affected by drought. 20 out of 23 traditionally affected counties are affected. This becomes one of the worst drought in 40 years.
5 billion shillings spent on drought. President William Ruto has said that the government has already spent around 5 billion Kenya shillings for food distribution. In Isinya, close to 300,000 head of cattle have died in the country. The Ministry of Agriculture has also released 350 million to enable farmers to sell their livestock to the Kenya Meat Commission as part of mitigation measures against the ongoing drought. The Cabinet Secretary for Agriculture, Mithika Linturi, announced the new intervention as he had visited Kajiado County, one of the hardest hit by drought, so that the close to 300,000 head of cattle have died and over 1 M others are at a risk of death by starvation. Markets have turned into sites for dead livestock.
Now, let's go back to our first story, whereby we see that there is a horror. It's the horror story in the Mama Lucy Hospital, whereby Mama Lucy Hospital has been said to become a slaughterhouse, whereby because of their negligence, people are losing their lives. For example, the mother who lost her twins and also her life. And the health committee has come together and said that the hospital should be closed until further measures are put in place, so that to take care of people's health over there, and not only Mama Lucy Kibaki's hospital, but also all the health sectors, health facilities in the entire country. Now, you see that this Mama Lucy Kibaki hospital, I've never seen it being a problem in the country at the moment, but now it comes at a time whereby it's the one that is mostly being blamed compared to the Kenyatta Hospital, whereby we know most of the time Kenyatta Hospital has been having problems, and now it's Mama Lucy Kibaki. Now, do you think that the committee is right to say that this hospital should be closed until further measures are put in place?
It's not supposed to be closed, but again, I'm going to say this. Mama Lucy being one of the top hospitals in the country, it's a shame that it is in the limelight of hospitals that are so careless when it comes to taking care of patients, because they are not actually putting eyes on the hospital, like maybe, they're so blaming Mama Lucy. But it's a fact. We have seen so many cases, a pregnant woman goes there, she's not taken care of. We see people sharing even beds. Last time I remember when Sakaja was immediately got into office, I remember he visited the hospital and paid the cash bill for all those patients who had not been released because of the debt they owed the hospital. We saw him pay for them, and then they released him. They released them. We see like a pregnant woman and sick patients, they can even share, like 4 patients on one bed.
Yeah.
So the hospital is a bit failing in terms of treating the patients, and it being one of the toppest, it should be so clear and so strict with how they treat patients, with how they take care of patients.
Yeah. So do you think from Mama Lucy Hospital, does this reflect that also other hospitals just have the same activities that are being undertaken? Because you can't tell me that it's only Mama Lucy it's only Mama Lucy that these activities are going on. It also shows that, it also reflects that there are other hospitals, the same hospital, do the same things.
The news that come to us, it's all about Mama Lucy. But again, I believe even other hospitals fail. Hospitals like Kenyatta Hospital, we have seen, even you go there, you just say no one is taking care of you, no one is calling you, no one is concerned why you came there. It's not only Mama Lucy. I don't know why they put so much focus on Mama Lucy, but I think even other hospitals are failing. Even the Pumwani Hospital, this one for pregnant mothers that they go. A lot of hospitals are failing, and we have seen even nurses being rude, doctors being rude, neglective. When you swear to be a doctor, it means you devote yourself to take care of lives through your expertise, through your career and academic qualifications. You're not supposed to be there because you're being paid. You're supposed to be there because through your expertise, you're going to take care of these people. Through what you have learned for all those years, you're going to make sure that these people are, are being taken care of well.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, talk to us and tell us what are your views on this Mama Lucy Hospital situation, whereby we see that there's a mother of twins who died and also they lost the sons, and the family wants justice. So do you think that this negligence from the hospitals, is it being fair to people? Because they are they're in place to help and save lives, but now it turns to be a death place for some people's lives. Now, on our next story, we see that we turn our attentions to Meru County, whereby we see that Mwangaza, Governor Mwangaza, whereby she's the MCAs have rejected 7 out of 10 nominated cabinet nominees, and we have been hearing in the past few days that she has not been in good terms with her MCAs, and now this brings to another attention, whereby on Thursday last week we saw that she even called for a meeting to end the feud between her and her MCS, and now there's another story coming up that the MCS do not agree with the nominated cabinets. Now, we have seen Mwangaza being in trouble. Do you think Mwangaza is going to stay in this seat for a long period of time?
I don't think so, because as we can see, her darkness is still continuing with the MCAs. I believe it's this Thursday they are supposed to have that consolidative meeting. But again, I hope the meeting will go well. I hope it will be effective in terms of clearing the bad blood between her and the MCAs. So Mwangaza, when she began her leadership, when she immediately got into office, that's when she began her issues. We saw her being so proud. We saw her doing things according to her will, not following even the process of being in the cabinet. We saw her not even involving the cabinet secretaries. We saw her not even involving the MCAs and even insulting them at some point. So I think as a leader she has failed. But from the meeting, we shall be able to tell more about what will happen.
Should we say that sometimes Mwangaza behaves like a high school head boy or a head girl? Because you can find sometimes that even the head boy or the head girl do not want to be ruled, to be helped by the prefects. Now, these MCS behave like the prefects in their respective places. And now Mwangaza wants to do the work by herself, and she does not want to collaborate. She brings up rules that are not effective. She's not. She's just going for selective people, whereby it said that they don't have the knowledge in running the county. Now, do you think that when the MCS said that these nominated people, they have lacked knowledge in governing the county, were they correct saying, were they supposed to say that, or should they just help her do the correct vetting for them?
Why should she be helped to do the correct vetting? Because of the constitution. So leaders should know it's not all about superiority, it's not all about power. When you're in a position and you're given the mandate to serve the people, you're not supposed to think like, so highly of yourself. Because according to the law, you're supposed even to engage your side of the story, so that together, joined together, you can run the government well. But if you think you can do this on your own, then you didn't really need people in the first place to even vote for you.
Well, talk to us at Romi TV Africa on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram and TikTok. Follow us on our social media pages. Tell us what are your thoughts on this matter, whereby we see that the Meru governor cannot take care of his government so well. She's in a feud with her MCS. Will she continue? Will she be kicked out? On another stories, we start by saying that 2 billion Kenya shillings have been set aside, been injected to combat the famine and the drought situation. At the moment, Kenya is suffering from a drought situation. We see that it's not only in Turkana or Isiolo. We find that places like Isinya in Kajiado County, whereby livestock have died. And even there are some places that the marketplaces have become dumping sites. And even the cabinet secretary for agriculture, Mithika Linturia, said that they have also given out approximately 240 or 340 million for those farmers, for those livestock keepers to sell their beef to the what do we call them, to the meat commission, Kenya Meat Commission, so that it may help. But also we see that the president said that 5 billion Kenya shillings has already been spent for the drought situation. Now, do you think the government is taking the right order or the correct way to take care of this situation, drought situation?
Okay, in terms of the current situation, them injecting 2 billion shillings to combat the famine and the drought ravaging the country, I believe it's a good move, because as much as they're looking for long-term, initiatives to make sure that there's food security, that long-term cannot wait for now. It will only mean people will have to wait, will have to hunger until that time for long-term initiatives to come. So I think them giving out that money to make sure that those countries that are affected, those countries that are affected by hunger, are well secured. I think it's a good move, because again, the government cannot be giving each and every time 2 billion shillings to cover the hunger. I think they should look for long-term initiatives in terms of production, like giving out fertilizers, giving out materials, giving out seeds, giving out water, irrigation systems, so that plants can be planted, crops can be planted. With that, people will be able to cover their own hunger without now depending on the government.
Correct.
So if they give out that money right now to buy those foodstuffs, because right now it's foodstuffs, then again they should give out another money to make sure that these crops are grown. to make sure that the irrigation schemes are well utilized.
Yeah.
They are well provided to people, to those areas that they don't, get rain a lot, those dry areas. Yeah.
Well, you had it there, but also there's a situation whereby we turn our attention to the western part, whereby we see that yes, there is a plentiful of harvest, but for the harvest there's a lower production, because you see that people in Kimilili are suffering at the moment. They're saying that they have planted, they have plenty harvest, but all of a sudden the harvest that they're getting is minimal, and when they're going to sell to the markets, the markets say that it's too expensive for them to buy. Now this is another situation whereby we see that farming is also being affected, and when people don't buy these products, it ends up bringing another drought whereby people do not want to eat, because the economy is becoming more expensive again. Now, will the government now, will they only focus on drought, or do they have also to focus on farming sector for the people who are bringing out the food? Because we depend on farmers actually for them to produce the foods that we eat at the moment. Now, does the government has to pay attention to the drought situation only, or not, or also to pay attention to the farming sector?
Like I said before, them giving out 2 billion shillings to make sure that hunger and drought is taken care of right now, it's a good move, because that's the current situation.
Yeah.
Because even if they take care of farmers first, it only means those people who are hungry in those counties that are suffering drought, they'll have to wait so that the farming initiatives can be implemented, or they can give results. But again, after them giving out that 2 billion shillings for drought, they're supposed now to make sure that they give so much attention on farming. Because them giving out money every time to just buy foodstuffs, it's not going to help. Because yes, people will consume, but again, where is the production coming from? So I believe they should take care of production first. Let them first make sure people are not going hungry. Again, making sure that farming is being taken care of and farming is ongoing. Yeah.
Well, you had it there this morning. That was our news.
Now, welcome back now to newspaper briefing or newspaper review. This is Romi TV Africa, and now we are going to our first, not our first, like our main story. A woman's death at Mbagathi Hospital raises questions. Now, when 60-year-old Naftali Mbaki took his wife to Nairobi's Mama Lucy Hospital on July 12th, he hoped she would return home after her sugar levels are established. Now, before even we continue with this story, it has already raised questions for me. Because this is a sad story. A story where, like, this is a husband, you take your wife to the hospital, and now you find the unexpected. But when the nation visited him on Monday at his Kayole home, he could only show his wife's black backpack and a pair of shoes. The only items he came home with after weeks of looking for the missing patient. His wife, Jane Curry, 57, died under mysterious circumstances at a yet-to-be-established facility with Mama Lucy Hospital, an ambulance service provider in Mbagathi Hospital Trading Lane. Wow. Such a heavy story. Mr. Mbaki now has a string of questions regarding Jane's death and why it was hushed for about 2 weeks. The last time I spoke to my wife was on July 13th at 1 a.m. It was the night that I had taken her to hospital and admitted her at around 8 p.m. on July 12th. Transfer to Mbagathi. Before we talked that night, a nurse at Mama Lucy told me that they were going to transfer my wife to Mbagathi because they did not have enough oxygen. He hoped to see his wife when dawn broke, but he was pressed at work and failed to go to hospital on that day. On July 14th, he went to Bangathi Hospital, accompanied by his neighbor, a middle-aged woman, to check on Jane's progress because the call he made to her phone went unanswered. When we got to Bangathi Hospital, a receptionist told us that she was in isolation and had contracted COVID-19, he said. We asked to get documents, at least the NHIF card, to start processing payment details, but we were told we could not take anything inside our COVID-19 isolation ward. They told us to go home and come back after 7 days, he added. Yeah. Even before we continue, this is such a mysterious question, story, I mean. Yeah. Because first, this man took the wife to the hospital on July 12th, that night. And the last time he spoke with the wife was on July 13th, the night that she was admitted. And now later on, after 2 weeks, the wife is dead. It's a mystery, under mysterious circumstances. We are not sure what happened. We are not even told what happened. Yeah. What do you think about this?
Now, we're staying to the situation whereby it's all about negligence in the hospital. Because hospitals at the moment, mostly public hospitals, are becoming a place of death at the moment, a place of mysteriousness. True. Because at the moment, when you take a sick person to a public hospital, you just fear that they might not even be served. They are just going there to end their lives. True. For example, when you talk about the Kenyatta Hospital, the time that they had cases, now we see that Mama Lucy, now we have Mbagathi. Yeah. These hospitals are well-known hospitals in Kenya. True. And these are hospitals now, they are leading in negligence. They are not taking care of their patients so well. Yeah. Doctors are being doctors are not being serious at their work. Yeah. They call themselves doctors, but they are not helping people. Yeah. There was a time when we had a case of a hospital case whereby a child was having a fork jembe on the head. And it had taken a lot of time for the doctors to attend. True. Because that was a serious matter. Yeah. They just told them to wait and see how they are going to take care of the matter. But within some few hours, the kid had lost his life. Now, where is the government going to go when they are seeing that such situations are being taken, are being done in hospitals? True. Because doctors are not being serious at their work. Yeah. The government is not intervening, even if when the society is calling for justice, still no one is taking care of this matter. And now we see that people are not becoming sorry for the doctors. Yeah. The doctors are now struggling. Yeah. Because all eyes on the doctors. When you say you're a doctor at a particular hospital, they are seeing you as if you are not that person who is going to help us anymore. Yeah. People depend on private hospitals right now. Yeah. And do you know how much private hospitals are expensive? Now we depend on public. And when it comes to public hospitals, negligence. Yeah.
Okay, now let's continue with this story because it's a deep story. The two went home as instructed. On the 7th day, they went back to the hospital to ask if they could see their patient, and that is when the mystery of his wife's death began. At the reception, we were told that Bangathi Hospital had not received any patient going by my wife's name. We checked all their records, name by name. We even went to the mortuary, and my wife's name had not been listed anywhere, he told the nation. Mr. Mbaki went back to Mama Lucy Hospital, where Jane had been admitted. There, he was shown details of his wife's transfer by an ambulance owned by the Kenya Red Cross, IPLA service. The hospital washed its hand of the matter. Mr. Mbaki was told to check with Mbagathi. He instead went home with his brother and other relatives. He was on the verge of giving up when his brother suggested that they approach a popular Ford Travelers Matatu tycoon who linked them up with the Embakasi Central MP Gathiru Mwangi. The legislator called the two hospitals and Mr. Mbaki was summoned to Mama Lucy Hospital, dead. I was told that my wife was at Mbagathi Hospital and that I should go there because someone was waiting for me. I went. At Mbagathi, a doctor broke the sad news that my wife had died. He said with tears in his eyes, Why didn't they tell me when I came on July 14th? What killed her? Why didn't they record her name anywhere? Why don't I have a COVID-19 yet? I was with her when I took her to hospital that day, he wondered. Mr. Mbaki on Monday recorded a statement at Kayole police station. He has been asked to look for money for post-mortem examination. In a press release Tuesday, IPLA services confirmed taking Jane to Mbagathi Hospital. We carried out the evacuation in accordance with the stipulated evacuation protocols, and any further information on this issue can be sought from the hospital, read the statement. The nation tried to get a comment from Mbagathi Hospital, but a medical super whatever, Lois Mutai, said the director will probably do a press statement on the matter. Wow, it's a deep story.
Yeah.
Because first we see he was, like the hospitals were playing games. He's going to Mbagathi where they were saying that the patient had been transferred to.
Mm-hmm.
And then going there, they're telling him that there is no patient by this name.
Mm-hmm.
We have not received any kind of a patient.
Mm-hmm.
And now Mr. Mbaki goes back now to Mama Lucy. Mm-hmm. Mama Lucy, they still insist that the patient was transferred.
Yeah.
And now again we find out later, now after 2 weeks, that Mbagathi are saying the wife died because of COVID-19. And yet, COVID-19, the man was with the wife on 13th. And that's what they're saying, that the wife got COVID-19.
Mm-hmm.
The man was not affected with COVID-19, and we know COVID-19 is viral.
Yeah.
And now they're calling him after 2 weeks, after all the games, all the mysterious, missing of the patient. They're calling him and telling him that the wife died.
Mm-hmm.
If it were you, how could you receive such news?
It's a sad story at the moment.
Yeah.
When you can't think about the situation that should
Mm-hmm.
happen to you.
Mm.
But at the moment when we look at this matter, we see that the government is supposed to be put in to come to the help of these people.
Yeah.
Because when you see that such a family crying for justice because of negligence from the hospital, liars from hospitals, and we are supposed to have a place whereby people go to the hospital to depend on first-hand emergency.
Yeah.
But now we see that they are being taken to Mbagathi, go to Mama Lucy, go to Kenyatta, go to Kiambu, because it's the same situation when we go to Kiambu Hospital, whereby a mother breathed for at least I died at least at around 7 a.m. in the morning.
True.
Because of just staying on September. It was on September 8th.
Yeah.
At 7 a.m. whereby he had stayed for 36 hours without service.
And childbirth.
Yeah. Now, that's in Kiambu.
True.
It's another situation in Kiambu,
Yeah.
whereby the doctors are not paying attention to what they're supposed to be doing.
True.
Because these hospitals have doctors.
Yeah.
What is their work there?
Yeah.
They have first-hand receptions.
Mm.
These receptionists are supposed to list down everything that is happening.
Mm.
What is their work there if they are not doing these things?
True.
This is becoming a hurtful story.
Mm-hmm.
These people need justice.
Yeah.
The government should come and see how they are going to tackle in this matter.
Yeah.
If it's to fire these doctors, let them fire them. Let them employ doctors who are ready to serve these people.
Yeah.
They should not just come here and leave people to die.
True. And now we are saying that the MPs want Mama Lucy Hospital to be completely closed. Without any service, they want the closure of that hospital.
Yeah, we talked about this story before.
Yeah.
And I agree with them 100%.
Yeah.
Let it be closed, because these hospitals, they're becoming so they're not serious at their work.
Yeah.
Because they have not put the correct structure how to run their business.
Mm-hmm.
How are you going to serve the people if you are not going to be serious at your work?
True.
So yes, the MPs want the Mama Lucy Hospital to be closed. I agree with them. Let it be closed. If it's Kiambu Hospital to be closed, let it be closed. If it's Mbagathi Hospital, let it be closed, because these are the hospitals that are not being serious at their work.
Yeah.
Every now and then we hear cases from these hospitals. Why don't we hear cases from these private hospitals? Why don't we hear cases from Aga Khan hospitals, Nairobi Hospital? This, yeah.
True. Same case also. It's been a sad story. It's been quite a harshful and shameful journey for Mama Lucy Hospital. These are not the first cases we are hearing. We have had many cases before. We have had people dying. We have had patients complaining. We have had people not being treated accordingly. We have had patients being delayed to be treated. You know, you go there, you sit, and no one is taking care of you. No one is calling you for care, for, you know, asking what you came for, asking what is your problem. I mean, doctors and nurses, now, I don't know why they are behaving this way. I don't know, maybe if they are not paid. I don't know if they are not given salary. I don't know, maybe if it's ignorance. But before, if they even close, they have to look what is the root cause of all these issues. Yeah. Because our doctors are failing, our nurses are failing. They are to blame. Because when a patient comes to a hospital, they expect to be treated. Because you're there qualified, medically qualified, academically qualified, and even resource-wise, because the government has employed you, knowing that you can do this job and you're fit for this job. Yeah. So when a patient comes to that hospital, this patient is expecting, you know, that if I come to you, I believe in you. So whatever I tell you to do for me, you're supposed to do for me, because I'm even going to pay if there is some fee that is supposed to be paid. Right. So I think our doctors are failing. And if they close even this hospital, the doctors concerned should be fired. If we have a patient who can come and say, this is the doctor who did this to me, this is the nurse who did this for me, then they should be fired. Right away. Yeah. They should not even waste time. True. Because if that's the doctor that was supposed to take care of the patient, why do you leave your patient until that person ends their life? It's not supposed to be like that. Yeah. And if you think medicine and studying medicine is just a course by itself, then I think you should not even go for it in the first place. Because why do a course that you know you're supposed to devote your life to the people and to other people and to the lives of other people, and then now you're in that position, you just do it because anyhowly, and you expect at the end of every month you're supposed to be paid. Yeah. And I think these people, I've had cases or rumors, I don't know if they are true, that you know, when you go to a hospital and the doctors think that, like, you know, they like look at you and estimate and assume you cannot be treated. So I think they always like take you to the mortuary and assume you're gone, or maybe they even you know, hit you with something and they assume like you're dead and they kill you. So I think even these doctors are in that position of killing people and killing lives, because now how can that woman be dead because of COVID-19 and they were with the husband and the husband was not affected with COVID-19, and then you're reporting this case after 2 weeks of even playing games, because when he was going to Mama Lucy, they're saying she's in Mbagathi. Going to Mbagathi, they're saying that they never received such kind of a patient. Those are playing games even with the life of a normal citizen and just a common mananchi. So I think these doctors should be fired, nurses should be fired, and employ people who can do this job. Employ people who have a heart. Because I believe when you're a doctor, you should have a heart. It should be out of passion, not out of money. Yeah. And being ignorant at this state, and you're saying someone's life is at stake, it's a crime that should not be forgiven. Yeah. Well, that was it. You heard it here. It's a stressful morning at the moment. It's a cold, stressful moment when we see that sorry, these doctors are not serious at their work. And now we urge every citizen, if you're out there, if you're ready to serve these people, come out and help them. That was our time here at Newspaper Review at Romi TV Africa. Make sure you subscribe to our channel at Romi TV Africa on YouTube. Hit that bell for all the notification and get all the news here. And also follow us on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, in all our social media pages. I was your host, Emmanuel Onyango. Follow me on Instagram, ot_eno. Have a blessed day. I've been your host, Regina Mangi. See you tomorrow, same time, same place.